jumpstart the middle class instead of this partisan lawsuit.
The chair understands that the gentleman from Florida has not yielded for that purpose. Therefore, the unanimous consent request cannot be entertained.
Mr. Speaker, for the purpose of a unanimous consent request, I yield to the gentlelady from California, Ms. Matsui.
The gentlelady from California is recognized.
Mr. Speaker, I ask unanimous consent to bring up H.R. 377, the Paycheck Fairness Act, to jumpstart the middle class instead of this partisan lawsuit attacking the president.
The chair understands that the gentleman from Florida has not yielded for that purpose. Therefore, the unanimous consent request cannot be entertained. The gentlelady from New York.
Mr. Speaker, for the purpose of unanimous consent, I yield to the gentlelady from California, Ms. Chu.
The gentlelady from California is recognized.
Mr. Speaker, I ask unanimous consent to bring up H.R. 4582, the Students' Emergency Loan Refinancing Act, to jumpstart the middle class instead of this partisan lawsuit attacking the president.
The chair understands that the gentleman from Florida has not yielded for that purpose. Therefore, the unanimous consent request cannot be entertained. Gentlelady from New York.
Mr. Speaker, for the purpose of a unanimous consent request, I yield to the gentlelady from Massachusetts, Ms. Carr.
The gentlelady from Massachusetts is recognized.
Mr. Speaker, I ask unanimous consent to bring up H.R. 377, the Paycheck Fairness Act, to jumpstart the middle class instead of this partisan lawsuit attacking the president.
The chair understands that the gentleman from Florida has not yielded for that purpose. Therefore, the unanimous consent request cannot be entertained. Gentlelady from New York.
Mr. Speaker, for the purpose of a unanimous consent request, I yield to the gentleman from Florida, Mr. Deutsch.
The gentleman from Florida is recognized.
Mr. Speaker, I ask unanimous consent to bring up H.R. 851, the Bring Jobs Home Act, to jumpstart the middle class instead of this partisan lawsuit against the president.
The chair understands that the gentleman from Florida has not yielded for that purpose. Therefore, the unanimous consent request cannot be entertained. Gentlelady from New York.
Mr. Speaker, for the purpose of a unanimous consent request, I yield to the gentlelady from California, Ms. Eshe.
Gentlelady from California is recognized.
Mr. Speaker, I ask unanimous consent to bring up the Students' Emergency Loan Refinancing Act, H.R. 4582, to strengthen the middle class instead of this partisan lawsuit attacking the president.
The chair understands that the gentleman from Florida has not yielded for that purpose. Therefore, the unanimous consent request cannot be entertained. Gentlelady from New York.
Mr. Speaker, for the purpose of a unanimous consent request, I yield to the gentleman from Minnesota.
Gentleman from Minnesota is recognized.
Mr. Speaker, I ask unanimous consent to bring up H.R. 1010, the minimum wage bill, give America a pay raise, jumpstart the middle class instead of this partisan attack on the president.
The chair understands that the gentleman from Florida has not yielded for that purpose. Therefore, the unanimous consent request cannot be entertained. The gentlelady from New York.
Mr. Speaker, for the purpose of a unanimous consent request, I yield to the gentlelady from California, Ms. Lothbrand.